Hello guys, here's a quick tutorial on how to start on getting started with useState and useEffect in React.js. Now, um, in my experience, when I started getting started with React.js, unlike regular vanilla JavaScript, there is a learning curve which is quite steep, and things I found difficult was hooks like useState and useEffects. But I feel like once you can get over that, in understanding that and implementing that, then the rest is just like a piece of cake. Um, so the first step, of course, is to create your React app, and I'm pretty sure you used to that already. And I have it like running in my browser, the server, which is a development server, and I you can see everything that's happening here. And to to change this, you can just edit wasn't what's in your app.js, but you can also pretty much just delete everything and start over again, if you know what you're doing. But just um, just to show you, like everything I change here, it's gonna come up in the browser, so you see that. And I have the console also open, so I'm gonna be making use of that. So I'm just gonna delete everything here, and I'm gonna start by importing React. So no, import React. So I'm importing things I'm gonna be making use of. useState and useEffect, and from React, and that's grayed out because we not making use of that yet. So function app. So when it comes to React and using hooks, um, hooks are majorly used with functional components. There are two kinds of components. There we have functional and we have class components, and so hooks are like functional components are way easier, and that's why we use hooks, because class components, you have things like extend, which is not very beginner friendly. And yeah, so most people recommend just using functional components. So I'm just gonna create a simple component here, which is also you can call it the main or parents component, and that's where everything, this is what is going to be rendered to the browser. So I'm just gonna first of all declare my useState. So the useState takes two parameters, and that is the actual value, and the second parameter is the function that is going to be changing that value. And so my first value counts is the variable for the value, and the second is the function that I'm going to define later. And I'm gonna set the initial value of that. It can be anything. It can be a string, it can be boolean, but I'm just gonna be, oh, not zero, I'm just gonna be using an integer right now, to zero, because I'm trying to create a counter. And you're gonna understand why most tutorials specifically use a counter later, because with that you can actually control what is being displayed on the screen. And we're gonna be using a little JSX, and I'm gonna be returning JSX is used to return HTML. And so I'm gonna be returning some HTML with JSX. And let's just create div here. And so let's see, and all right, I'm just gonna create a simple text. I'm just gonna name it simple counter. Let's see what's been rendered. to our screen. Oh, export or import this app. Oh yeah, so I forgot, I should always export, what is gonna be rendered. Export default app. So let's see what changes. Alright, okay, something else. Undefined is not alright. Alright, so first of all we should let's just continue with what we're doing. So I'm gonna now have another which I'm gonna call counts, and I'm gonna have my count value. So this is gonna show the value or the number that's as we click a button, a number is going to be updated. So this is what's going to be updated, and I'm going to create a button, and with a simple function. So when the button is clicked, it should trigger a function which I'm going to call handle increments. We're not going to be decrementing anything, we're just going to be increasing the numbers to make it really basic. Handle increment, and so just do there, and it's just going to say increments. Right. Let's see. Yeah, so we need to define the function here, and so let me just define that function that's going to be handling the increments. So handle increments, and our function, and say here. So here, let's see what's been rendered. Undefined. Alright, I'm not pretty sure why that is happening, but I think it's because we don't have anything in our function yet. So I'm gonna I'm gonna make use of our useState, the function that actually changes the value of our counts. So set counts, previous started raining, so set count, previous count, just gonna see here, previous count in our function, and our previous count. This is just a variable to increase the actual counts. So previous count is 1, and so that's what we're gonna have. And let's see. So alright, we don't have any more errors, but we've got a bunch of shit in our console. So let me just clear that because that's from our past, and right now we're in the present. So clear that, and let me reload just to save any error. Okay, undefined is not a variable, and so let's see here. Alright, so what is undefined here? Actually, we have count, we have a useState which is 0, and we've created our function which increases our value by 1, and we return some JSX, and yeah, let's see here. Now so when we click this button, it should actually increase our value. So let me see what's gonna happen here. Oh, this is really typical of me, but I made a simple a really bad mistake here, and instead, like, it should just be brackets here, and not the other bracket which I had. So this should work now. Yeah. So as you can see, so basically what we have here is that I've rendered three elements with GSX. I have h1 header, so a simple counter, and then a simple text which just shows what state our value is, and the button to actually increment that. But when we click the button, so let me just reload that. Let me save this. So when we click the button, you can see that our number actually increases, and it just keeps increasing and increasing and increasing. And but so that is that about useState. But let's talk about useEffect and what does that do. So we know that useState helps us, to increase or to kind of know the state of a value, and it takes two parameters. The first one is the actual value, and the second one is the function, which makes whatever changes we want to make to the value. And but useEffect is kind of used to to you can say it's used to monitor what happens in your components, especially when a state changes. So every time, usually when the component is being rendered, what's inside the useEffect is also going to be rendered. And but I'm going to show you that the useEffect also it takes. Let's just start by implementing that. So we have useEffect and arrow function once again, and wait. So arrow function once again, and let's see here. There's something. So we have a R function, and just put this here. Alright. So right now we don't have anything in our useEffect, and we really and I'm gonna like add something inside this function that it's been rendered every time our component has been re-rendered, you can say. And the useEffect takes what's called dependency, and this dependency really can be anything. And if you don't have a dependency included, like it's just gonna keep it's just gonna render regardless. Like every time that component is been rendered, what's inside the useEffect is also gonna be rendered. But if you have a dependency, the useEffect is gonna what's inside the useEffect is only gonna work once the state of that dependency changes. So now you probably guess that our dependency is gonna be our counter, because we want what's inside the useEffect to run depending on the state of our counter, like when we make changes. So basically every time the state of our counter is being changed, we're gonna trigger what's inside the useEffect to be rendered, our component to be rendered. So let me just console. I'm just gonna do something really basic, and that's the console log. Let's just say count has been updated. All right. So let's see what changes we have. Yeah. I'm gonna reload this, and as you can see, we already have counts has been updated, and that's because it's the first time our app has been rendered, and what's inside useEffect is also gonna be rendered. Once I click the increment, you see count has been updated. Every time I click it, it says, what's been updated. But this is not very, doesn't look very good, so it's probably better if I show the actual count. So count has been updated to, um, so we can know the actual state of the counts, and to count. All right, so let's run that again. All right, so as you can see, count has been updated to 1, count has been updated to 2, 3, 4, 5, and it just keeps going. So pretty much that's pretty much the basics, the very basics when it comes to understanding useState and useEffect. And I really hope this tutorial helps you out as a beginner. And if you have any further questions, or if you feel that this was somehow unclear, feel free to leave a feedback as a comments, and I really appreciate constructive feedback, and I appreciate your likes and subscribes, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial, and thank you, and see you guys.